Yo YouTube, it's GatorGuy108. This is a new deck series. My series that I call my cheesy decks. A cheesy deck is a deck that's easy to make. It's a budget build, but also runs like some really weird tech cards, and it's also made after like a good metagame deck build. Like you could have cheesy Teledad if you want to. You could have a lot of cheesy decks. So my first deck of this series is my cheesy anti-metagame deck. It's a good deck. It's mostly just common, so it's like really easy to make. So I'll just get to the deck list. I'm gonna start, like from all my videos from now on, I'm gonna start explaining cards while I do deck list. So first, 3 barrier Statue of the Storm wins. These are like your oppressions. You just summon them, 1,000 each, attack and defense, and no one can special summon monsters except wind type monsters. And you're running a lot of monster support, so your opponent can't really get rid of them. 2 assailants, they just stick on the field. Your opponent won't really want to touch them because they'll just get removed, and you could just keep attacking with them. After destroyed by battle with an opponent, you just remove the 2. Morphing, just to replenish the hand, you just set it, flip, discard, and draw 5. Raging Flamesprite, this is one of the cheesy tech cards. You're running so much monster support that it won't get touched, but once per turn it attacks your opponent directly, and then it gains 1,000. So first turn you attack for 100, then it goes to 11, next turn you attack for 11, it goes to 21. And you're running so much monster support that when he's at 11, you could probably protect him. A Desulcuda, you just flip him and draw 1. It's so broken. Just a really good tech card. He creates a lot of advantage. Sanguine, you're running a lot of targets, probably like 10 or something, so just why not? Blackwing Gale the Whirlwind, he's a really good tech card because he's like a shrink and a monster. Once per turn you could have the attack and defense of one of your opponent's monsters. And he's also a tuner. You won't really want to synchro unless it's for like a Dark Strike fighter and you just tribute to win, but he's a really good card. Golem Sentry, another cheesy tech. You just set him, you flip him and bounce, and then you flip him face down. So he's really broken. He'll give your opponent like a lot of problems. And in some ways he's better than a Grand Mole because you don't have to waste the summon and you could just summon another monster but you're still bouncing. Another tech. This is like the craziest tech ever. Carrier Roid. He protects your back rows. His effect is when your opponent activates a card effect that targets and destroys a spell or trap card you control, you can discard 1 card to negate the activation and destroy the card. So he protects all your back rows, and since you're running so much monster support, your opponent will have trouble like killing them. A Warrior Lady, just hard to get around of. You're running Rhoda, so you can just search her out and just drop her, and then your opponent has to worry about something else. Breaker 1619 beat stick, and he breaks. He's like really good. Kaiko 18 beat stick. You could just drop him and keep removing all your opponent's stuff. He's alright. He's not that good this format, but he's a good card. Neos Alias with the Rhoda engine. He's a 19 beat stick, so he could just run over stuff. Alright, so that's the monsters. Here's the spells. 2 Econ to protect you and also steal. You don't really want to steal, but you could just Econ their stuff to defense and then just run it over next turn. 2 Hammer Shots and a Smashing to get rid of big stuff on the field. The Hammer Shots work really well because you're not running that many big monsters, and then the Smashing is just like a really good staple. Well, it's not a staple, but it's good in a lot of decks. Shrink, just to protect you. Just to destroy some of your opponent's stuff and keep your own monsters. Monster Reborn, it's a staple. You all know what it does. The Swords, to stall. Just drop it 3 turns, your opponent can't attack. Rhoda, you're running 4 level 4 lower warrior types, so just why not? MST and Heavy, get rid of those back rows. Alright, so that's the spells. Here's the traps. Once again, it's a budget deck, so don't expect to see like bribes, solemns. So 3 Reckless Greeds. These are your like draw power. I think these cards are so good. This format. Like, a lot of decks could run these. They're just really good draw power. Just activate, draw 2, skip your next 2 draw phases. Alright. 2 mirror walls. It's a massive shrink. You activated all of your opponent's monsters that attack you are half. So it's like amazing. 2 compulses. I like them. Most people would disagree on running them, but they clear up the field nice. Like, if your opponent attacks with something big, you could just compulse it and then just swing next turn. 2 scrap irons. These are like the best tech cards ever. They're so good with protecting your stuff. You just set it, your opponent attacks, you activate, negate it, and then it goes back face down. You can only use it once per turn, but it's still a really nice card. A divine. That's your out to monster effects. You only run 1 though, but it helps. Tori, it's a staple pretty much now. Just blow up the field when a monster is summoned. Wall of Revealing, it's so good. Like, you activate it, and then you drop Carrier Roid. Your opponent can't do, like, anything, really. Because they can't attack, and with Carrier Roid, they can't destroy it. So you just get your opponent on lock with that. And then you could just, like, bounce all their stuff. Shrink all their stuff. You could do all sorts of stuff. And the 7 tools, just so you don't get Mirror Force or Toried, because that like really screws up the deck. So that's the main deck of the cheesy anti-meta. Here's the side deck. 3 Banishers just to remove everything against like Light Sworns and that. A random Penguin Soldier, just in case you're running against like a crazy Synchro deck, you could just flip Bouncer Synchros. A Wall of Illusion, it's alright. You could easily run Jiu-Jitsu over this, but I like it. Exiled with the Rhoda engine, it just blows up stuff. More monster destruction, like this for like Light Sworns, the rest for like GBs and that stuff. A True Nate, just to get rid of like Royal Decree, because that messes with this deck. 3 Lightning Presenting Mirrors, Light Sworns. These screw them up pretty bad, so. Another 7 tools and another Divine Wrath just to protect you. So that's the first deck in my cheesy series. My cheesy anti-meta deck. Also, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master 16 is doing his deck contest. And Dual Patrol's in it with his Telly Plant deck. And he's doing like really good, so if you guys could go on that and vote for him, that would be really cool. Alright, so that's it. Cheesy deck 1, cheesy anti-meta. Comment, rate, and subscribe to me. Peace.